and welcome back to my channel. Please remember to subscribe down below and leave a comment. So today we are going to be talking about grief and loss. But before then, there is this book. It's not the book that I'm reading right now, but because it's relevant to what we are going to be talking about, I thought it wise to share it with you guys. So the title of the book is A Grace Disguised. I hope you guys can see. I cannot pronounce the author, so I hope you guys can see the name of the author. At the top there it's written How the Soul Grows Through Loss. I hope you can see. It's an amazing book that I'd recommend it to anyone going through loss or anyone who knows someone who is going through loss or grief. It's an amazing book. I hope you guys can get to read it. And I want to read a part of it that says, if you let it, your sorrow will increase your capacity to live well, to love life, and to experience joy, not after the darkness, but even in the midst of it. It's an amazing book. You can recommend it to a friend, a family, or someone who is going through loss and grief. The title of the book is A Grace Disguised. There is the author's name. Yeah, so that's said and done. I want us to define what is loss. Loss is the experience of having something taken from you, or the fact of no longer having something or having less than before. A miscarriage is a loss. Losing your job is a loss. Losing financial stability is a loss. Divorce and breakups are losses. Losing your health, maybe someone gets cancer and their breast is removed, that's a loss. Someone gets an amputation, that's a loss. Because many of us has this perspective of loss as death only. No. A miscarriage is a loss, a divorce is a loss, a breakup is a loss, because this is someone who was close to you, but now they'll be no longer close to you. You have lost them. So grief. What is grief? Grief is tremendous sadness, the mental or emotional suffering caused by loss and regret. Commonly used to refer to the feeling of sorrow from the death of a loved one. The distress, that's now what is grief, the tremendous sadness. And grief has 7 stages. Stage 1 is shock. Shock, this is where there is disbelief and numbed feeling. You cannot believe what has happened. There's denial. This is where many people say, this can't be happening to me. No, this is not true. The third stage is bargaining. This is where you hear people saying, maybe he will come back, maybe she will come back, maybe it's just for a few moments or so and they will be back. The fourth stage is guilt. It may be, you hear people saying, maybe I could have done something to prevent their death. Maybe if I was there on time, they wouldn't have died. Maybe if I did this and this and this, it wouldn't have happened. Now, the guilt comes to this person now who is going through this process. But it's okay. It's a process. Go through it. You hear people saying, maybe I wasn't good enough. Maybe I never behaved so nicely. That's why maybe they went. The fifth stage is anger. The feeling of resentfulness towards self or the departed one. Anger, now this is the resentfulness that can be so strong towards yourself. Now you are angry at yourself. People become angry at God because they start asking, why did you take them? Why, if you're faithful, if you're good, why did you take this person from us? So it can be angry to yourself, angry to God, or the whatever you believe in, or anger to the departed person, because you'll be feeling, why did they leave you? The anger. The other one is depression, massive or intense sadness. That's why you hear most of the people saying, I am too sad to do anything, I am too sad to shower, I am too sad to eat. And now if at this stage, if not managed, that is where now grief can get out of hand. But go through the process. There are stages. Go through them, feel the pain, come out of the pain stronger. The last one is acceptance and hope. That is where now people come to terms with the loss and start saying, I am at peace, I accept, it's God's will. But it's not usually easy to get there. But it's a process. Go through the shock, the denial, the bargaining, the guilt, the anger, the depression, until now you come to the last stage where you accept, and now you start coming to terms with the loss. And let it be known that grief is not a sign of weakness whatsoever. We are all allowed to grieve. We all grieve in different ways. I keep saying grief is unique to everyone. Grief is personal. don't let anyone put timelines on how long you should grieve. Grieve as much as you can. There are people who grieve as long as 5, 6 years, 7 years. There are people who grieve for 1 year. There are people who grieve for months. So grief is unique to different people. Don't let anyone put a timeline on you. And yes, grief and loss causes can affect someone psychologically, because when you're going through these reactions, you may get reactions like anxiety, fatigue, depression, and it comes even to where people start having suicidal thoughts. Because if the person you're losing a job that maybe you have worked so hard for, you're losing a house that maybe you have given your whole life to build, you're losing a spouse, it's not usually so easy. And also an obsession with the deceased is also usually a very common sign to or a reaction to death. There are symptoms of grief and loss, and the first one is usually, as we saw in stage 1, in where we say there is shock, it's numbness and disbelief. And now these signs show all through the stages until when someone from shock all the way to acceptance and hope. So numbness is where someone doesn't feel anything. The news have not hit you yet. There is also bitterness. Bitterness now can come in, especially during anger. During anger, there is where you're bitter, you're wondering why they left you, why, maybe if it's a divorce, you keep asking what didn't I do? If it's a breakup, the same. If it's someone who has died, the same thing. And there's also detachment. Detachment, and mostly you will see someone going through the process may sometimes depart from the others, anataka tu akae peke yake, in a way they want to do their things in a way. There's also preoccupation with the loss, and they are the ones who will see, they will be talking about the disease, the things the disease loved doing. Then mostly this one even happens during breakups. You will see someone talking about their ex so much, what their ex loved, but it's okay, it's the process. Go through it. Do not feel bad when you're going through this, because it's a process, and being a process, it has step by step, and at the end of it all, you will get to the acceptance stage and you will heal. And remember, healed people heal others. There is also, when someone is going through the bereavement period, that's the period between grief and mourning, and now mourning is now adapting to the loss. There is a way, there is no, okay, I want to say there is it works in different ways, but there's a way you can break news about loss and even make it worse. So I want us to go through the best way to break news about loss. The first and the most recommended, and if possible, if you're in a position to do it, is face to face. Look where that person is, find them, sit them down face to face, because now this is where you are able to interact with them emotionally. The other one is give yourself as much time as you can. Take your time, sit with this person, let them understand. If it's maybe by accident, let them understand what has happened step by step. The other one is create a safe space. Create a room for this person to feel okay. Create a room for this person to feel safe. So even as you give the news, this person is already feeling they're in a safe space. Use phrases like they are in a better place. So you are just trying to reassure this person that everything is going to be okay. So find the best of the best ways is breaking the news by a face-to-face, which is the most recommended one. And we are saying that grief and loss will always be here. This is life. We will always once in a while experience loss and grief. But now it's us to know what are the healthy ways which we can cope with the grieving process. So the first one is acknowledge the pain. Don't try to suppress the pain. Don't try to push it away. Acknowledge the pain. Accept the triggers of the unexpected emotion. Because if it is someone who has departed, you will once in a while see their pictures. You will see things they loved. Maybe if it's a spouse or a parent, you will see something they loved in the house also. So accept these triggers. Understand that your grieving process is unique. I cannot insist this enough time. Grieving is unique to everyone. It's a process. There is no timeline. Grieve as much as you can. The process in you is unique to everyone. Seek support. Seek support from people you trust, from people you love, from people you feel comfortable with. Go ahead and seek support. Take care of yourself physically. And this one happens especially during now the depression stage, where someone is saying, I am too stressed to, or I am too hurt to do anything. During a breakup, this stage is there where you feel like you don't want to take care of yourself. Go ahead, take a shower and dress up, even though you're not going anywhere. These are some of the healthy ways that we can adapt and help us cope with the process. How long is enough to grieve? There is no time frame or no time that we should say that, okay, now you're supposed to grieve for 1 year, then after 1 year. No. Grieving is a process. Grieving is unique to everyone. Grieving is personal. We all grieve differently. Grieve as long as you can. People grieve up to 7, 8, 9, 10 years and above. There are people who grieve for 1 year. There are those who grieve for weeks. There are those who grieve for months. There is no long enough to grieve. Go ahead. Grieve is a process. Go through it. Take your time. Do not suppress this pain. We shouldn't ignore this pain, because ignoring it will make it worse on the long run. Go ahead, feel the pain, go through the process. It is not easy, but at the end of it all, you will get out healthier, with healthier coping mechanisms, a better person. You will come to the acceptance stage. And grieving brings us to an understanding or a deeper meaning of life. We appreciate life more. It helps us find a new normal, helps us to find new ways to go through the pain, and it helps us to go beyond the initial reactions of our pain. There have been several myths and misconceptions, especially according to different cultures, that the pain will go faster if you ignore it. No, 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 no. Go through the process, feel the pain, come out stronger. It's important to be strong when going through the loss. Cry if crying will, the assumption that if you don't cry, you don't feel sorry. It's okay. I keep saying that we all grieve differently, we all go through the process differently, but at the end of it all, we are looking for healthier ways to cope and healthier ways to manage the grief. So I'm sending love and hugs to anyone who may be going through a loss, maybe miscarriage, divorce, separation, a breakup, death of a loved one. I am sending love your way. Everything is going to be okay. And remember that healed people healed others. Until my next video, remember to take care of your mental health. I continue recommending this book to anyone. You can grab it or recommend it to someone going through either grief or loss. That's the author's name. I cannot pronounce that. The title is A Grace Disguised: How the Soul Grows Through Loss. I am sending love your way. I am sending hugs your way. Everything is going to be okay. Time heals all wounds. Until my next video, thank you. Remember to check on your friends. Remember to check on your family. Healed people heal others. Your mental health matters. Please remember to subscribe. And if you find my video relevant, please share it with your friends and family. Thank you.